So, how do you get an ant to keep still? Sarah.
Stop the music.
Play that. That's very good. Do you know, by any chance, who was the first person accurately to portray small insects? Most famously, the flea, which is a very recognisable image, which is the cover of his book, Micrographia. He was a remarkable scientist, town planner. He has a law named after him of tension and springs. He was a contemporary of Newton and Christopher Wren. He was responsible for much of the town planning after the fire of London. And he used a microscope to see animals, including this little flea, and an ant. And there it is, which he was an amazing artist, as you can see. And he describes precisely how he got the ant to keep still. He said, "I gave it a gill of brandy, which after a while knocked him down dead drunk. He struggled, wonderful phrase this, for a pretty while very much."
Sounds like he was drinking
for a pretty while very much.
One for you, one for me.
Till at last, certain bubbles issuing out of its mouth, it ceased to move and remained moveless for a good while.
Remained moveless?
Moveless, yeah. Well, it was in 1665 the book came out, Micrographia. A gill, by the way, is a quarter of a pint.
Wow.
They can hold their booze, can't they, ants?
Yeah.
8 times their body weight.
But what was this man's name? Remember? Audience?
Remember.
Robert Hooke. Well, yeah, Ian Robertson shouted that. Ian Robinson is a physicist, that's cheating. But yes, Robert Hooke. And he suffered, as many did, although he was one of the greatest geniuses who ever lived. Isaac Newton was a really thoroughly ghastly man. And he particularly hated Hooke and had him erased from history, because anybody who wasn't Newton was just not good enough. And all the portraits of him we got rid of, because he was so powerful, Newton, because he was such a genius and so recognised around the world. And an artist named Rita Greer has set herself the task of creating more portraits of Hooke than there are of Newton to redress the balance. And here's one. It's based on meticulously researched likenesses of him. There are now 20 in the world, as opposed to 16 of Newton. So Hooke has won, although obviously Newton was a truly great man.
He was a bit of a wrong un.
I'm afraid he was.
A terrible egomaniac.
Total egomaniac.
Gravity.
I mean, he was...
Go to your head.
Yeah.
He looks like he's had a few gills of whiskey there.
He does, doesn't he? It doesn't look as if he's had much sun.
Look, it's 2 little ants meeting in a pub. Hello, Mr. I'm really proud. I love you. No, I love you.
What was Darwin's problem with brown owl? And why did he not describe it?
Now, clearly, if one makes a joke about Girl Guides here, like he was traumatised during a period in the Girl Guides...
Before...
Help me now.
We even predicted your mistake, because I think brown owl brownies...
Yeah. Yeah. He must have died before...
Before the brownies existed, exactly.
Yeah. He probably ate it or something.
Ah!
So he ate brown owls, you're saying?
Well, actually, he didn't, because he described it as indescribable, which is why he didn't describe the brown owl. Well, actually, as food, he meant, because Charles Darwin, one of the greatest scientists, one of the greatest men, really, of any age, was considered a very dim pupil and couldn't spell and was terrible at arithmetic and went to Cambridge. The only subject his father thought was fit for him was divinity. And he spent his time chasing rats and shooting and looking at animals and eating strange animals. He was a member of the Gourmet Society, or the Gluttons, as it was known at Cambridge, and their aim in life was to eat as many rare and peculiar animals, like bitterns and hawks. But brown owl, they didn't like at all, and all the others became bishops and archdeacons.
Does this still exist, this club?
Exists? Stephen's the president of it.
Yeah, otherwise you write me round for Fox on creme, mate.
I drink panda, that's the... Oh, it's lovely.
I've got a book at home. It's equivalent to the Collins Book of Birds from 1850. And after describing each bird, at the end it will say, for instance, a buzzard tastes a little bit milder than a golden eagle. Yes. But still quite palatable.
Does it have a wine recommendation at the bottom? You suggest a Chablis or a New World Merlot.
Do you know what you should drink with the beating heart of a cobra? This is a dish in China where you get a cobra and it's brought to the table alive. They then slice it open, rip the heart out, and it's beating on the plate there. You have to chase it around the plate, I suppose. And then you drink the blood of the snake as the wine.
Actually, I ordered the lasagna.
What's the most disgusting thing you've ever eaten, Adam?
Earwax.
Your own? It was your own, that's all.
It's really horrible.
Bitter.
I mean, if just a tiny bit on the end of your fingers.
Sweet and sour.
Imagine if you had to have a sandwich of it. Really like a block of it.
Anyway, a phylum feast is held on the 12th of February every year by zoologists and biologists, in which they try and eat as many different species as possible, in honour of Charles Darwin, whose birthday that was. How could Archimedes have moved the Earth? Yay.
I fear I may say something. He could have made love to me like a wild man.
Didn't he say he just wanted a fulcrum big enough and then he could use a lever to move the Earth? Was that him?
Yeah, I said that, but he couldn't have done it.
Well, I'm only quoting him. I'm saying...
Well, he didn't say with a lever. He said...
The
It's your best available source.
Surely the best way to move the Earth is some sort of montage with a Coldplay song. Sort of sporting achievements and then a great... Maybe
Yes.
Take That's Greatest Day.
You'll be saying next that Archimedes' screw wasn't up to much either.
I'm sure it was. No, he did say, dos moi pu sto kai kino tain gain. Give me a place to stand and I will move the Earth. That is the point. He discovered the power of the lever.
Oh, he was big, wasn't he?
He was a big... One of our elves worked out that if he weighed 100 kilograms, which is sort of reasonable, I suppose, and he placed his fulcrum a kilometre away from the bottom of the Earth, in order to balance the planet, he would need a lever 6.5 billion light years long. And assuming he could find a lever long and stiff enough, and he moved his end 1 metre, the Earth would move by a distance less than the diameter of a single proton.
He wasn't to
You
be
lost
taken
me very early on in
He
that
wasn't to be
sentence,
taken
I'm sorry.
literally, Stephen, for goodness sake.
No.
I'm
Just out of
being
interest.
penalised. The fact that you're taking his words as though he meant it, he was actually going to do it. He was merely...
No, but I'm asking how he could have.
Who's he on the phone to? Is that Newton? Is that Newton? This isn't working.
That's Socrates. I saw a play about you. Rubbish in it.
It's lever you sold me.
Do we all move the Earth every time we walk around, in a literal sense? Does it move a little bit?
Well,
because there's that fact about if everyone in China at the same
Jumped up
time
and down,
jumped
yes.
up and down, they'd be livid.
He said, did you put my toga in with that red towel?
No, well, if you jump up, according to a Newtonian insight, you could move the Earth by a tiny amount, but it would move back. It would cancel itself out in accordance with the third law of motion, so the jumping up and down thing would cancel itself out, but in theory, that...
So all that effort getting everyone in China to do that, so a complete waste of time.
It is, unfortunately.
Speaking
It would be fun,
literally.
though. Archimedes would have moved the Earth more by jumping in the air and shouting Eureka than by using a lever. Aristotle, as I'm sure you all know, thought that heavier objects fell faster than lighter objects. And it seems an intuitive and correct idea, but Galileo worked out that they didn't. And how did he do that?
Wait for it! He dropped 2 cannonballs off the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Ah, well, did he? I'm sorry about that, but the reality is that he worked out that this was the case from his head. He then did some experiments with ramps and things that proved it to be true.
What's heavier, a ton of gold or a ton of feathers?
Exactly that kind of thing, if you like. But what he's saying is that half a ton... He's saying half a ton of coal... What Galileo said...
Like a sort of Elton John party request or something, yeah.
Of course, the answer is that one of them is heavier, isn't there? Because gold is measured in troy weight rather than avoirdupois, and they're different. So a ton of gold is different to a ton of feathers. Sorry. I believe. I'm sorry. But what Galileo said was that half a ton of coal falls at the same speed as a ton of coal. That's the point. Falls at the same speed. You know, if you let go at the same time, they'll both hit the ground at the same time.
How could you get a ton of coal up in the air?
Well, indeed. Galileo's reasoning was thusly wise. He said that if you had a heavy object, if you believed Aristotle, it falls fast, and the lighter one slow. So suppose you attach the light one to the heavy one. Well, the heavy one falls faster than the light one, so it would make the light one fall faster. Or the light one would hold the heavy one up because it's going slower. By attaching them together, you would make it go both faster and slower, and that's obviously impossible. The only explanation is that they both travel at the same speed, and he then proved it. And on Apollo 15, Scott, the astronaut, thought he'd try and see if Galileo was right, and we have a clip of him doing it. It's rather wonderful.
And I'll drop the two of them here, and hopefully they'll hit the ground at the same time. How about that? Which proves that Mr. Galileo was correct in his findings.
Isn't that cool? Astronaut David Scott proving Galileo right with a hammer and a feather. But Galileo established it by the power of his own thought. Got this little example of a sort of optical illusion here. So if you photograph it in the right way, as you're about to see, the eye plays extraordinary tricks on you. So there it is Einstein. There he is in profile. Wow. And there's the inverted bit, but hello. Your eye tells you that's poking outwards, and yet it isn't. That's the inside bit. And your eye refuses to believe it until you get to that.
That's great. Oh, you're twisting my melon, man.
Isn't that extraordinary?
Why does it do that? Why?
Well, it does that because your brain is programmed to recognise human faces, and it's one of the first things babies do is look at faces, and you expect to see a face, and even though you know it isn't a real face, your brain fills in the...
I did it again.
It's an astonishing illusion.
Does this, Stephen, does it only work with Einstein? No. Would it work with another man?
It would work with any human being. It is really creepy. It's amazing, isn't it?
But it's done it. I can't believe it did it the same trick twice.
I know, the point is...
Right, listen, we're not going to fall for it this time.
And yes...
OK. No way. Not 3 times on the run.
Outside. This is going to be inside, Lee. Inside.
How do you do it? Wow. How do you do it?
It's so clever, isn't it?
He's so clever.
It is literally... We literally filmed this. I mean, you can see... That's all it is.
This is a great trick. I might cut my head in half and scoop out my brain.
What's a wonderful thing? It would make the most wonderful blancmange or something, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Right. Are we going to bother with the rest of the show? Because I could happily just...
Watch it.
I mean, it's lovely chatting and everything, and I love what we do, but let's just...
You're hypnotised.
Have you got any others apart from Einstein?
No, I tell you what we can do. We can make the Queen happy or sad.
Oh.
We've got a £5 note. You can do this with your own £5 notes, but we'll give you the demonstration.
OK.
There it is. You do a little fold. He invented the theory of relativity.
Oh,
this is one of your... Oh, so little trust in the world.
it was Albert Egmont. I'm not going to say.
He was a very great physicist. Which one? Theory of relativity.
Which one?
The theory of relativity. Not the special one, not the general one. Very good question. The first theory of relativity. That put to rest Aristotle's theory of absolute rest, in fact. Because you're a bit of an old science bod.
Yeah, but, you know, not in a way that I'd like to be quizzed on television about.
I bet it turns out to be Einstein and an elaborate bluff.
How much do you want to risk the...
The cloak of doubt.
Big hitter. The biggest, really.
Newton.
Second biggest, then.
Einstein.
Oh, did you say Einstein? All that care! You took so much care not to say Einstein.
You know, fish bite hooks.
No, Galileo Galilei. I'm thinking of Galileo.
He just did telescopes.
Tell him. Put him right about Galileo. Just founder of more modern physics.
Could he make a good pasta sauce?
Anyway, there we are. Einstein was responsible for the special and the general theories of relativity in 1905 and 1915 or 16. 15, I think you're right, yes, respectively. But the original idea of relativity was Galileo's. What was Darwin's problem with brown owl? And why did he not describe it?
Probably ate it or something.
So he ate brown owls, you're saying?
Well, actually, he didn't, because he described it as indescribable, which is why he didn't describe the brown owl. Well, actually, as food, he meant, because Charles Darwin, one of the greatest scientists, one of the greatest men, really, of any age, was considered a very dim pupil and couldn't spell and was terrible at arithmetic and went to Cambridge. The only subject his father thought was fit for him was divinity. And he spent his time chasing rats and shooting and looking at animals and eating strange animals. He was a member of the Gourmet Society, or the Gluttons, as it was known at Cambridge, and their aim in life was to eat as many rare and peculiar animals, like bitterns and hawks. But brown owl, they didn't like at all. And all the others became bishops and
Well,
archdeacons.
does this still exist, this club?
Exists. Stephen's the president of it.
Yeah, otherwise you write me around for Fox on Creme, mate.
I drink Panda. That's the... Oh, it's lovely.
I've got a book at home. It's equivalent to the Collins Book of Birds from 1850. And after describing each bird, at the end it will say, for instance, a buzzard tastes a little bit milder than a golden eagle, but still quite palatable.
Does it have a wine recommendation at the bottom? You suggest a Chablis or a New World...